Hey, what's up, everybody? It's Adrian. Today is March 3rd, 2014. This is an update on T and where I am in transition. This week I'll be getting my 7th shot. I can't even believe it's gone by that fast. I remember just, 2 months ago watching other people's videos and seeing their changes and talking to other guys and thinking I'm never going to be there. And to be on shot number 7 is just amazing to me. Honestly, I'm a little disappointed. I don't see the changes I expected to see, but last week was the first shot at what is the typical dose, or close to the typical dose of testosterone. Typically, people are taking 0.5 cc's or mLs of 200 milligram dosage of testosterone. And I was started off at 0.2, so that's less than half of what the average is. So all I really noticed was I did notice an increase in acne and an increase in appetite. And again, those weren't the side effects or the changes I was looking forward to. Last week was my first shot. I doubled that dosage, so I'm at 0.4 mLs now. And my appetite, I thought, was already pretty high up there. Now it's gotten even larger, and I've been hitting the gym 2 to 3 times a week. So I really need to rein in my diet and keep that under control, because with increased appetite, I don't want to lose the work that I've done trying to get myself in shape, and that's all in preparation for top surgery, which I'm hoping to have in the summer. What else? That's it. I haven't noticed voice changes. Nobody around me has noticed voice changes. No hair growth or anything like that. Muscle growth from taking tea, and I think from amping up exercise. I have noticed that I'm building muscle a lot faster. My legs and arms have definitely bulked up. So that's awesome. Shot number 4, I had to give to myself. We had a terrible thunderstorm, and my girlfriend, her job put her up in a hotel so that way they, could guarantee that they would have a lot of people come back the next day. So I woke up that afternoon, she wasn't coming home, and then I had to go into work and was then put up in a hotel so we were, so they could make sure we were at work the next day. So I woke up and gave my shot to myself in the thigh. I was really nervous, and I think I wiggled it around once it was inside my thigh. So when I pulled out the syringe, there was a little bit of blood that had gone into the syringe itself, and then there was blood coming out of the site, and it was a lot more than it wasn't horrible, but it was a lot more than I'd ever had in the past. So it was definitely different. And then I had a huge, probably a $50 size bruise there for about a week. I was really nervous that I had totally messed myself up. When I got to work, we have a medical response team, and most of those guys have military or EMT kind of background. So I explained to them what happened, and it was probably less than. It was definitely less than 1 ml of blood that came out, probably less than half a mil. So they said I was fine, but I was still nervous about it. But yeah, the 3 shots after that, my girlfriend is done. And hopefully she'll be able to do the rest, because that was, it's not fun. I know there's a lot of guys out there that give it to them themselves. I don't know how they do it. I don't ever want to have to deal with that. And I don't think I'll ever get used to it, even on I still get nervous when my girlfriend does it. And I get really nervous, and my way of dealing with that is to overanalyze everything and to make sure that everything looks good, and of course that leads to a little bit of an argument, because I'm being picky about how she's, withdrawing the medicine, drawing it up into the syringe, and how she wipes the injection site. So I kind of have to back off and not be so controlling of the whole situation. But it definitely does, it amps up my nerves, and then once it's over with, I'm happy. So that's it as far as changes I've seen. Overall, obviously, being called Adrian at work and at home, and everybody making an effort to refer to me as such, has just made me completely happy. It's hilarious. I mean, I don't expect anybody to get it right off the bat. And there's some days where my girlfriend, is calling me Adrian and saying he and him, and even refers to me as her husband. And then all of a sudden she'll call me by my birth name, or slip up and say she. But it's not, it's definitely nothing that bothers me at this point. My grandmother called me the other day and said she just wanted to see how her grandson was doing, and then referred to me by my birth name the next sentence, and was like, "Oh, I'm sorry, I messed it up." And I'm just happy they're trying. I couldn't ask for a better set of circumstances, because I know there are guys out there that are struggling with their families, struggling with employers and coworkers, and for everybody to be so willing to try and to be so supportive has just absolutely blown my mind. Absolutely. I can't believe it. I cannot believe that this has gone as smoothly as it has. And I wish it was that way for everybody. And I think one day we'll get there. One day it won't be taboo, and it won't be something that people don't understand. I think more and more people will understand what it means to be trans, and will be respectful of it. I think we'll get there eventually. I don't know how long it'll take, but we'll get there eventually. The other thing I've been binding, and it is definitely uncomfortable. It completely sucks. There's nothing fun about binding, and I'm at the point, my job isn't super active, but there's a good amount of climbing and wiggling around and crawling around things, and I'm just at the point where I can't bind anymore. I got a binder from ManSculpture. I don't know if I've talked about it before. It's the ManZip Full Max, or ManZip X Max, something like that. And it's really comfortable, but I bought 2 more, and those 2 do not fit me the same way the first one did. So I'm going to try and exchange them, but bottom line is, after 2 or 3 days in a row of binding, I get pretty sore, a lot of back pain, chest pain, pain in my ribs, very uncomfortable. And I just think at this point, I would rather just deal with the physical, the aesthetic uncomfortable issues than the physical uncomfortable issues. So I'd rather be aesthetically uncomfortable than physically uncomfortable at this point. So I think I may not bind as frequently, maybe 1 or 2 days, and then just go back to wearing a sports bra, just because it's so uncomfortable. At this point, I really don't care. I mean, it's not like I'm fooling anybody. The people that know me, that have known me as female, they're still gonna see and know me that way for a while. Even if they are calling me Adrian and trying to say he, it'll be a while before there's a transition for them in their minds with respect to me. And as far as strangers are concerned, I'm just at a point where I could care less. They could perceive me as female or male. It doesn't matter to me right now. The biggest thing is for me to be happy and for me to be comfortable. And I don't want to do damage to my body just to try and fit in with or to be perceived as male. So that's kind of where I am right now. Like I said, I'm hoping to have surgery in the summertime, June, July, somewhere in there. I have consulted with 5 different surgeons. 3 of them are local. I think I've mentioned before I live in Charlotte, North Carolina. So 3 of them are within the state of North Carolina. Very little experience. Not exactly impressed with results. 2 of the doctors were really supportive and familiar with female to male top surgery. So they really put me at ease, but this is something I'm going to have to live with. There's no do-overs. It's you get one shot and you live with it. So I'm not looking for perfection, but I also don't want to settle for mediocrity or inexperience. So I had a consultation with Dr. Garamoni in Florida, and then I had a consultation with Dr. Raphael in Plano, Texas. And at this point, I'm going to be going with either one of those 2 doctors, and obviously the added expense of traveling. I haven't figured out which one I'm going to go with, and hopefully I can afford the travel and surgery expense this year, because I'd really like to get that taken care of and not have to prolong that piece of my transition. So I think that's it for changes and kind of where I am in transition. There is one more thing. Working out. Obviously, when you're dysphoric and struggling with anything, not just being transgender, being gay, really with anything, if you're having this huge emotional struggle, most people tend to take that out on their bodies and get physically unhealthy. So I'm about 30 pounds overweight and definitely not in the physical condition I want to be in. So I've been working out a lot more, and I know I've lost fat and put on a whole bunch of muscle. My numbers on the scale haven't changed, but I definitely feel better, and I can see where muscle is developing. So hopefully by the time surgery happens, I'll be in the condition I want to be in. And a lot of the surgeons I've talked to have said, there's no need for you to be completely muscle bound for surgery, but the more pec definition you have, the easier it is for them to kind of shape your chest accordingly and to get it as as nice looking as possible. So there's a YouTube channel, Beefhead Fitness, if you want to check that out. That's Aiden Dowling, really popular on YouTube. If you don't already know him, you should check out his videos. They're really helpful, a lot of information. There's a bunch of workout videos. I decided that I needed somebody to push me, so I signed up for a personal trainer and was open from the get-go about what I wanted. And I probably started working out with her a month before I started testosterone. I had worked out with other trainers prior to that, but it was kind of hit and miss, and I wasn't completely committed to it. So it's been about 2 solid months of dedicating time to 2 to 3 workouts a week, which, you know, going from absolutely nothing to that is a big accomplishment. The next piece I have to throw in there is changing my diet. But hopefully I get continue to work on that and get where I want to be for surgery. But yeah, that's a big thing. I noticed a lot of us are in poor physical condition, and you know, I think that speaks volumes to how we feel on the inside. And it's kind of hard to take care of a body, specifically when you're trans. I think it's hard to take care of a body that you feel disconnected with anyway and don't want to pay attention to or acknowledge to begin with. So if you haven't already, if you're just getting information or wherever you are in your transition, even if you've started testosterone, you seriously need to examine your diet and your exercise frequency and start taking care of yourself. At the very least, just to feel good, but obviously, you know, for most of us, the end goal is to have a masculine form that we're happy with. And that can vary. You know, I'm not saying you have to be a muscle-bound jock, but I think most of us would like to have, you know, the shoulders and the chest and the arms that have masculine definition. So if you're not working on that, get on it and have support in place. Somebody that's gonna, you know, if it's not a personal trainer, your partner, a family member, somebody that's gonna, you know, check in with you and make sure that you're doing what you need to do to take care of yourself. That's about it for this video. Like I said, hope everybody is doing well, and I will talk to you all later. Peace and love. Bye.